Welcome. Today, Group 1 will be presenting the case study provided at the end of Chapter 13 in our course textbook titled Management Information Systems, Managing the Digital Firm. I am Sarah Jones, and my fellow group members include Matt Bales, Tara Brown, Tony Ebaugh, and Ryan Merrick. The content of the following presentation revolves around SourceGas and its mission to improve a crucial business process by developing and implementing a new software system. The presentation will begin by providing a brief overview of SourceGas. We will then identify some of the problems revolving around their current work order system and the impacts on the business. Following, we will analyze the implications of customization, both specific to SourceGas and from a more general stance. Next, we will give a broad overview of the solution selected by SourceGas. After, we will briefly follow the processes taken by SourceGas and their vendor during system development. Then, we will analyze the benefits recognized from the new system and the steps taken to ensure its success. Finally, we will close with a quick update on SourceGas since the publication of this case. SourceGas is a natural gas utility provider with a customer base of over 400,000 and services covering 4 Midwestern states. Within the territory served, there are varying degrees of population density and regulation, driving unique requirements for their business process. Maintaining 18,000 miles of pipeline, which operate over 332,000 square miles, often proves to be a challenge for SourceGas. A key performance indicator, which is a quantifiable measure used to evaluate the success of an organization in meeting objectives for performance, is the number of work orders processed per mile traveled. For SourceGas, this means that their critical business process is ensuring their ability to successfully optimize resources with accurate and logical scheduling.
Hello, I am Tony and will continue the discussion. The current process that SourceGas uses to assign work to its field technicians begins with a customer call to SourceGas customer service. The customer service representative enters the information into SourceGas's Customer Relationship Management, or CRM, software. CRM then creates a work order from this data, which is transmitted to SourceGas dispatchers. SourceGas dispatch then manually assigns work orders to technicians based on the nature of the request and the skills of the technicians. Technicians receive their taskings in the field via Panasonic Toughbook mobile devices and begin work on the request. There are several problems that SourceGas has identified with its current work order processing system. Some management factors include the inability of dispatch to consistently match work orders to technician skills, resulting in suboptimal assignments. This mismatching can result in work orders not being worked to a customer's expectations. An organizational factor includes the reliance on dispatchers to effectively match work order to technician skill based on the customer service representative's memory. Some technological factors stem from the reliance on a dated system implemented in 2000. While this system enables SourceGas to track a work order from start to finish, it still requires manual initiation by dispatchers. SourceGas's current system was developed with custom programming by third-party vendors, which makes changes difficult to implement. The business impacts to SourceGas are workloads for field technicians not being balanced amongst the technicians or being ranked on priority. SourceGas spends considerable time and money clarifying its scheduling policies. SourceGas chose to customize its software package with third-party vendors, which was a problem for SourceGas. So what is customization? Customization allows a software package to be modified to meet an organization's unique requirements. What are the implications of customization? Customization requires additional effort and work by programmers to modify software from its baseline package. This can be costly both initially and subsequently when any changes are required. Also, if this customization is outsourced, as was the case for SourceGas, an organization will be dependent on that third party for maintenance and changes.
My name is Ryan and I will be reviewing the solution for SourceGas's work order processing system along with the systems development process utilized to assist in implementing their new system. As the case discussed, SourceGas was in need of a new system to automate its work order and scheduling processes. The company initiated a requirements gathering workshop with third-party vendor Click Software with the goal of establishing system requirements and developing business rules to guide their work order and scheduling process. The top 3 requirements for SourceGas's new system were to automate work scheduling, maintain the company's existing timesheet process, and ensure minimal changes for field technicians to use the system. SourceGas elected SAP Workforce Scheduling and Optimization as their solution, which was a software package that had the ability to integrate with their current SAP systems. This software package is a real-time optimized scheduling solution for managing scheduling and dispatching, supporting mobile service operations, scheduling service appointments, and monitoring service operations. Some features of the software include demand forecasting to determine how much work is set to arrive, when and where, real-time response to on-the-spot issues such as traffic or cancellations, the ability to consider multiple attributes when assigning work, including worker skills, service commitments, location, and customer preferences, analytical features to help with identifying problem areas and methods for improvement, and lastly, improved planning and resource allocation to assist in meeting anticipated workloads in specific timeframes. SourceGas used the systems development process to assist with developing their information system solution. The stages include systems analysis, system design, programming, testing, conversion, and production and maintenance. Beginning with systems analysis, SourceGas was aware of the fact that their existing work order and scheduling process lacked automation and was outdated. The company recognized the need for a new system that could automate its work order and scheduling process. Moving on to system design, SourceGas met with Click Software to establish system requirements and business rules to guide the work order and scheduling process. As previously stated, they elected to move forward with SAP Workforce Scheduling and Optimization. In the programming stage, rules and special conditions specific to SourceGas were configured in the new system to automatically schedule and dispatch workers in a way that best aligned with the company's goals. In order to test the system, SourceGas trained 20% of its workforce in order to obtain feedback about the performance of the new system. The testing process had end users on SourceGas's operations team perform 225 possible service orders in an effort to ensure the system was able to handle every single business scenario. The entire conversion process took just over a year. The company used a phased approach by organizational unit, with its last division going live with the system in December of 2012. During the production and maintenance stage, SourceGas's management received positive feedback about the new system capabilities for automated scheduling, timesheet preparation, as well as improved usability compared to the previous system. One added benefit of the new software was the ability for SourceGas to easily modify internally as the company was required to respond to changes within the utility industry.
Thanks, Ryan. Hi, everyone. This is Matt. I'll be continuing the discussion by going into key factors that contributed to the successful integration and utilization of the new work order and dispatch system, and how the role of the end user was so crucial to its success. SourceGas was very methodical in its measures to create a useful and encompassing system. As Ryan just explained, SourceGas used the traditional systems development method for their system design. The key factors for the success of the system are inherent to the process and are correlated here. Ryan mentioned some of the feedback that was used in the development process, but what other steps did SourceGas use to make sure that the new system was successful? It comes down to clear communication between the end user, ops teams, super users, and Click software. Using an agile project management approach to break down the larger project into smaller, quick goal-oriented projects to keep the momentum, rigorous testing of all possible use cases, and heavy end-user involvement. The role and method of end-user involvement can be broken down into two stages: during SourceGas' system development and during the go-live and maintenance. The end user's input was critical in getting the system into a useful state. They set priorities and helped the development teams to understand how the work orders functioned and who or what was needed to complete the work order. End users also provided continuous feedback throughout the agile iterations to create the most usable and useful system. When it came to the go live, a small group of guinea pig users were trained, and their feedback helped to create the training process for the rest of the company. This gave them a sense of process ownership and buy-in. With all this talk of end-user involvement, it begs the question, what would have happened to the project if SourceGas weren't as concerned about the end user's involvement? The issue of not including the end user in the system's development method is what is known as the user-designer communication gap. And it has the following risks. The wrong work is being done. People get hurt, the equipment is damaged, and the environment polluted. The system is difficult to use, and the users don't use it because it takes longer than the old way. The system works great for some things, but does not cover all of the needs. So users have to use the old system to get those requests put through. And lastly, the system works great, but no one was involved in the process, so they don't know how it functions, or are afraid of the change, thinking it's going to make things more difficult. The benefits of taking the time to involve the end users are pretty clear. The company gets a system that is more in tune with the needs of the workforce, is more rapidly accepted and utilized by the whole, and is adaptive to changes and future needs. Bottom line, the end user is really important. Not including them is like trying to pick a product that's solely based on assumptions and no directions. Now over to Tara.
This is Tara, and lastly, we will review the outcome of the implemented changes and what's happened since the 2014 implementation. The initial benefits of SourceGas's new system are automated scheduling, timesheet preparation, as well as its enhanced usability, improving the overall customer experience. Managers now can more accurately gauge workload and determine the appropriate resources needed. Work orders are automatically scheduled and dispatched according to the rules configured within the system. Audio alerts were added for emergency work order notification and added technician safety features. So how did the business change? The system is now maintained in-house, allowing for on-site updates, which improve cost and significantly reduce the time involved for system updates. This also provides automated processes, which improve efficiency, resulting in less labor-intensive scheduling. So did SourceGas accomplish what they set out to do? We believe the answer would be yes. As mentioned, they accomplished overall improvements to cost and efficiency, added automated processes such as scheduling and timesheets. Now they can focus on the next steps, which will be to make enhancements to the process to make it more efficient for customers as well. Potential changes are allowing customers to order online, text message notification system, and payment processing during service calls. Finally, we thought we would take a look at where SourceGas is today since their system changes in 2014. In 2016, Black Hills Corporation purchased SourceGas for a reported $1.9 billion. They now employ roughly 3,000 employees and have approximately 1.2 million customers. Their service area now includes Colorado, Wyoming, Nebraska, Kansas, Arkansas, Iowa, Montana, and South Dakota. Black Hills Corporation is worth somewhere around $4 billion, and they have had a 50% increase in earnings per share each year since the acquisition. In 2019, Lynn Evans, the president and CEO of Black Hills Corporation, stated, "We enhanced our customer-focused strategy in 2018 as Black Hills celebrated its 135th anniversary of delivering the essential energy customers need. We are optimistic about the future and the opportunities to modernize utility infrastructure and transform the customer experience to meet the ever-changing expectations of the customer."